News Radio 1140 WRVA. Are you stressed out at work? 737 Jimmy Baird Show here on News Radio 1140 WRVA. Chances are pretty good it's one of a couple of things that is stressing you out. Here to talk about it with us is Michael Rose, workplace expert. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm well, thank you. I'm not feeling terribly stressed this morning, even though I would have to say that the number one thing is money on the list. And I know what my boss would say to me, Michael. If you're stressed about money, you're just going to have to be stressed.
Well, I'm stressed at work when everyone else is stressed at work. So it only behooves me to try to reduce their stress. And if pay is one of those stressors, then we have to communicate through that. And I think pay is a symptom, not necessarily a cause to stress sometimes. And I think by looking at the cause, perhaps increasing communications in the workplace on both sides, the employee and employer, definitely starts to shed light on ways that we can, as an employer, help reduce that stress.
It sounds like what you're saying is that pay is usually a stress, is more of a symptom of something else. In other words, it's our way of expressing, you're not paying me enough to put up with this stuff.
Yeah, I think definitely. And going into that scenario, I would say that through communication, maybe financial literacy would help. Employers pay employees through profits, and if not profits, debt. If the company's not doing well, or if it's doing very well, and the employer doesn't want to share the financial literacy, share the what's going on, transparency of the company, then that could be an indication of why. Too, perhaps it's literacy on the employee side. Maybe it's not pay. Maybe it's the debt on the employee side.
Right.
So by understanding what's going on, we can, I feel, help more.
Well, and it sounds like it also could be a problem with the company itself. And I know a lot of companies like that are kind of drowning in debt. We've gone through some difficult times. Can't afford to give their employees a raise, but they're not honest enough, I guess, with their employees to tell them that that's the reason.
And if you have a strong workplace culture, and we've heard many, many stories over the years, particularly over the past 4 or 5 years, that the company starts to perform not as well as it used to, and employees take pay cuts to stay on. Why? Because the workplace culture is so strong, and the employer has investments during the good times in people, and then they're willing to stick around long term. And those are just some fantastic stories that employers need to make those investments during good times so they can all work together and survive during the bad times.
Workplace expert Michael Rose here on News Radio 1140 WRVA. One of the other areas is the commutes. Less so in a place like Richmond, where most of us live within 15, maybe 20 minutes of our workplace, but certainly in Northern Virginia, you've got a lot of people who live well more than an hour from the D.C. area because it's so expensive to live there, they can't afford to live any closer.
The commute definitely is an issue. I moved my business 3 years ago from a 3-minute commute to about a 20, 25, 30-minute commute. And the reason why we did that is so we could spread the time around. But I guess I would ask the question, what kind of work is waiting for you? It really kind of depends. And I in my experience in my business, I had a gentleman walk to work and complain it was hot. And I have one girl who drives an hour and a half round trip every day and walks in with a huge smile on her face every single morning.
Yeah.
So it's really dependent on the individual to make sure you're getting the right people in your organization and that those people are aligned to your culture and where your company's going in the future.
Okay. It's all about attitude is what you're telling me, Michael. So how do you go about improving the workplace attitude? I guess you have to figure out what part of it belongs to you and what part of it belongs to your employees, right?
I don't think anybody has the answer. I think building a great culture, should be the number one objective of every single leader. And that doesn't come from the top down. It doesn't come from the leader or the management. It comes from the entire organization by opening up communication. Just like we can address it on the pay side, I think we can address it on the culture side too. If we're building a strong culture, then I think that really should be the number one driver. And that culture is different in every company, but understanding the why and really pouring a lot of training and development and more importantly, listening to the front line and to the managers and the leaders, then I think we can start to build something that everyone's proud of.
Michael, good to talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Workplace expert Michael Rose here on News Radio 1140 WRVA.